Welcome to Podcast Batching Day. We are live every 2 hours throughout today with a guest for Strategy with Sally. It is actually the next 2 days we are doing podcast batching. So set your alarm for 7 a.m., 9 a.m., 11 a.m., 1 p.m. and maybe 3 p.m. I'm not sure if there's a guest in that time slot. Could be 6, but it is podcast batching day and we are rolling out, doing it live as always. But after the live, of course, it will get edited down and put onto the Strategy with Sally podcast. But hanging out with us here live gets you to see the behind the scenes and all the stuff we're doing and any bloopers that may pop up as well. But we are at our 9 o'clock session and our guest today is co-owner of Recreate and leading a video production and social media management company, helping professional services and construction businesses to grow their brand and build their business online. Now, these guys work alongside they both work together. One is the founder, one is also in content creating strategy, and they help clients to increase and attract talent to help businesses maximize their current client base. And they also are helping us with some content creation, and we've got some pretty cool things together in the pipeline. We might share a little something about that on the podcast. But please help me in welcoming Ben and Jobe to Strategy with Sally. Welcome, guys.
Thanks for having us on.
Thanks for having us on.
Lovely to have you both here. So before we, get stuck into the podcast itself, I'd love to hear a bit of your backstories. Where did you start? Then what was that light bulb moment for this actual business, Recreate? Let's kick it off with Ben.
Yeah, definitely.
Share. Yeah.
I'll kick it off. So I started my creative journey quite young. I was very fortunate in year 9 to get the opportunity to do a very similar thing to Timbertop, but except it wasn't Timbertop. It was Alpine School. So I turned my way up at the snow and I got the opportunity to really learn about myself. Did a disc profile as a young kid, which was interesting. Didn't understand it back then, but I do now. And part of the time away is I got to spend some time with a man called David Tatnell. And he came in and we were camping in the snow and we had a film camera. We got the opportunity to try photography under his education. And that was a bit of a light bulb moment for me. I really enjoyed it. When I came back as a 15-year-old to my school, I was like, right, I am keen. I want to learn the creative arts. And from there, basically, the school I had just didn't offer it. It wasn't suited for it. And the next school I moved to as well didn't have it either. So I really branched out and started my own business. And from then I was an absolute nerd, and I loved my video gaming and stuff. And because of that, I didn't get invited to a lot of the parties and things like that. So my into the parties was the photography and being able to shoot for the 21st birthdays, the 18th, and all those sorts of things. And so I started my career quite young. And it's funny, you can actually find that business. I don't tell too many people. So if you're watching, definitely don't go and look this up. But there's a Facebook page out there still called Inflex Photography. A little hand holding a speaker, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And yeah, that was the first business of mine doing my photography, and it really just snowballed from there. I've had a few different business partners in different businesses, and enjoyed the freelance journey quite well. Always had it happening in combination with a few other things in construction and things like that. But it really just transpired over the last 4 years that I, to be honest, nearly burnt out of being a freelancer entirely. And then when I was around that burnout stage, I had the studio at the time. So we've got the studio in South Geelong, and Recreate came about. The idea of Recreate came about. A partnership of good people came about, and here we are now, just trying to flip the model on its head, because we were tired of just running all the time for project to project, and not having that consistency where we couldn't build a team, build a culture, and really, yeah, build a space that was going to grow into something special.
How long has Recreate been around for now?
About 4 years.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I love your space. We got to come out and visit your space the other day, and I love you've got a little podcast room, and you've got like a shooting studio and other kind of work area. But you've got little hubs all around that space to film all this cool content that you do. So yeah, well done. Congratulations, 4 years. That's good. What about you, Joe? What got you into this space?
It was funny. I was studying law and commerce at the time, so I was like the complete opposite, I think, of a creative. And I had a friend of mine that just started showing me all these YouTube videos of how people were making lots of money through drop shipping and courses and all that sort of stuff. So my journey in was a little bit more uh, selfish and drawn in on like the get rich quick type things. And then I sold products for probably had 2 years, and me and a friend really got to learn a lot around like web design, advertising, content creation, like all of these different marketing skills are really, really good to learn. So it was a really good way of like, I suppose, like trial by fire. And we're really good at the marketing side, but as 19, 20 year olds, we were not very good at running business or managing stock. And the main reason I sort of moved away from it was I realized how important brand is, because the way that we were doing it, we didn't have a brand where we weren't promoting anything other than the product itself. And I really got to see how important that was, because as soon as we would start doing well with the product, there'd be 10 other businesses exactly like ours drawn up within a week. And that
Mm,
happened over and over again. And suddenly it would be pretty saturated. So yeah, I moved away from that, started doing consulting and just jumping on calls with people and assisting them with all the stuff that I had learned around like how to improve their website, around advertising, around content creation, and that moved more and more into that like content creation and brand building aspect, and I got to learn a lot doing that over 4 years. But towards the end of that 4 years, I really found that I'm jumping on these calls with people. I'm giving them advice on what to do, but every time we catch up, they've only been able to make really small movements forward.
mm.
So that's when I started the agency and started, yeah, doing it for people, because I just found that was we were getting better results for the same amount of time, and uh, it's been like that for uh, well 4 years now as well. I merged my previous business with Recreate around the middle of last year, and yeah, it's been one of the best decisions I've ever made. I won't speak on behalf of them, but it's definitely been a great partnership that we've been able to create, and what we've been able to do with Recreate since, and just we've been better together rather than competing against each other.
Yeah, well, that was going to be my next question. What brought the two of you together? What was that decision to merge?
Well, it's a funny story actually. Like we we've actually known each other for a long time, Job and I. And funnily enough, when Job first started, he actually contracted me when I was a freelancer to come out to his house and take videos for him for his business. And at the time, I'm like, I was like, what is the angle of this? Like, what are these videos going to be used for? Because I was primarily back then an event photographer. I did a little bit of event videography. I was like, what is this guy doing? He's talking about short form video. He's talking about social media. This whole like, it's going to be this massive thing. And this is like, bear in mind, this is like 6 years ago. So Job was well ahead of the curve. And I was just like, oh, I'll do it. I'll do it. I just don't get the angle. Like, and move ahead a couple of years. And Job's in similar spaces as us, pitching for same clients and stuff like that. And Joe would have campaigns and clients go out there that we knew were his, and we're like, well, like how come his stuff's doing so well? You know what I mean? Like, and we were on our side, and we were like, I'm sure Job, you had similar things. Like, how are we getting our footage to look so well, so good? Um, but we didn't have some of the results that Job had with a different sort of vision of video. So we caught up, we shared, we collaborated, and it got to the point where I was basically like, I haven't got the skill sets you have. I just don't have the strategy that you have, and these sorts of things. And then I was like, admittedly, I think we could add a lot of value in regards to some of the quality aspects and the gear and processes that we have on that side of things. And yeah, from there it was just working out all the finer details and moving ahead with it. So from my side, would you add anything to that, Joba?
No, I think he's being kind about one of the parts that like I really noticed was like we were getting good results from like the ideas and the strategy with clients, but transparent. I'm not a great videographer. I'm self-taught. I've was using gear that gets by, but I really saw the need for like if I want to level up and play in the spaces that these guys are playing in, it's like how do we join these two things together? Great production and strategy, and yeah, that's all I would have added to it, Benny. But
Yeah. Well, it's a nice team. Like Ash and I have been spending a bit of time with you with some cool things that we've got in the pipeline at the moment. Um, like, what would you say are your like weaknesses and I guess your strengths and how they work together? Because working as a team, like I will say just for myself and Ash, like Ash is super organized, right? She finds everything that is a mistake. She was just reading a contract last night and she says it says pages 5 of 3. She says, where's attention to detail? Right. So she's that person. I'm like, put it out, spelling mistakes and all. But I have her for all that compliance stuff and to make sure I turn up to my meetings on time. Where are your weaknesses that then help to fill the gap by the other person?
Well, I think if we're talking about us two in the business, I think I've I'll talk about my strengths. So I
Yep.
love systems. I love systems at the moment. I'm obsessed with AI. And it's this weird mix that I'm also a creative. So like my head's in the clouds a lot of the time, with ideas and things like that. And I'm all over the shop in, just idea land. But then I've got this nice mixture of systems, processes, and procedures that marry them up really well. Um, but I think my deficit is the ability to distill that down to a point where it can be brought on by the team and maintained. So that's where Job, I find, is my absolute knight in shining armor, because he understands the ideas and the vision of the ideas, and then can go, all right, slow down. Like, what's it actually gonna? How's it gonna help? What's the purpose of what you're doing? Skynet sounds cool, but why are we building Skynet? And yeah, it distills that down into a proper process and procedure that can actually be followed and understood. And I think that's the biggest thing with Joba is the patience you have to really you know distill things down in a manner that people are going to understand from a grassroots level. I think it's really important.
Yeah, cool. What about you, Jobe? What's your strengths and weaknesses that help complement your partnership?
well, first I'd say I think Benny sometimes will undersell himself around saying that he's like ideas all around the place. But if you do, I've always like used the analogy with Ben as like a laser. It's like if you point him at a particular thing, it'll go like gangbusters in that direction. So like if you get him onto something, he'll spend 30 hours back to back building it. So he's very powerful in a particular direction. So it's crazy. So I've never seen someone build as quickly as he does, which is a superpower that we get to benefit from a lot. But on my side, I find like I really love managing people. I love being able to like see people's growth and give them a really clear pathway on like what do they need to do to progress in the business. So we're a team of 17 now, and it's a lot of people to make sure that we Ben and I have worked ourselves out of delivery now, so making sure that the team are the ones that are able to do everything without us, and not even just getting by and doing this stuff. Like we they do a better job than us. We want them to be able to exceed everything we ever did, and push the business forward further than us. So I think that's what I'd say is like my strength in that area. Whereas, on the building and the systems side of thing, that's really Ben. I think that we've often really likened it to the I think it's in EOS or one of those other business
Ah,
systems as
yes.
like visionary and the integrator,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's kind of where we sort of like
Same. Yeah.
liken ourselves. We
Yeah.
play a little bit of each other's parts at different points, but I
Hmm.
definitely think predominantly Ben's the visionary that sees where we want to go, and has the vision for the quality we want to produce and the jobs we want to do later on, and the offers and the products we want to do. And then it's sort of like he said, so he'll come back to me like, okay, now I need to look at how that goes out with the team. Do we do this now, or do we do this in 6 months, and planning in and around that.
Yeah, I'm a huge EOS fan. Like my orange book's behind me. Like I love EOS. And I would say, Ben, you and me, we're like, the same. If I want to do something, I will just smash it out. I remember we did a live event when COVID first hit, and within 2 weeks I had 50 guest speakers, 7 different Zoom accounts all set up, and ran a massive event just because when I put in a direction, I'm like, go, 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 and smash it. But then the team side I've always struggled with. And that's where Ash steps in and she really manages the team. I saw some really cool things you were doing with the team. You had a steps challenge. I thought that was awesome. Because I always see if every time I catch up with Jobe, he's walking. He's got one of those walking pads and he's inspired me. I need to get one of those walking pads. But what was the challenge that you had with the team? You had a couple, didn't you,
Yeah,
recently?
there's been a few. I mean, we have a philosophy. Like we really care about the team. Like I hope that shows through in our content and stuff like that. But we really do care about the team, and we really believe that healthier people are happier people, and people with direction are also happier people, and all of those things lead to more productive people, which is obviously great for business. I mean, it's not why we do it, but it's the outcome of it.
Yeah.
Um, and we work in sprints, in like a sprint structure more so than quarters, and an 8 week sort of frame across the year, and 6 of them. Um, and we tie a lot of goals towards those sprints. So Joe manages like the team and stuff like that, um, sprint to sprint. But then we put in place these goals, and sometimes they're healthy habit goals around how many steps that we can do. Job and I are trying to do 50 push-ups a day at the moment, and we're well behind. So there's going to be a day that we're just doing lots of push-ups. Um, but then there's also like other goals that we want to tackle as well, like the number of hours you read a day, or the amount of minutes that you meditate a day, the amount of water intake that you have per day, and all these things that are like healthy habits that just contribute to you feeling better. That all always leads back to the clarity and things like that.
Yeah.
But I'll let Joba speak on some of the other goals that we have as well that are more tied to, I suppose, the growth of the business.
Yeah, I mean they're either pretty uh, normal business goals. It's like, okay, we want this amount of clients over here. Here's the amount of like different upsells and projects and stuff we do. Is probably, I'm not sure how it'd probably get too in the weeds to go too deep on
Yeah.
all of that. But
All good.
we do. I think one thing around that is like we've found. I think a lot of people can be like a lot of business owners can be really hold it too close to their chest around what their goals are, and they do it at the start of the year, or they do it with a business coach, and they've got it in a Google Doc, or they've got it written down somewhere, and then they never go over it with the team. Like at the start of every 8 weeks, we make sure now that we sit down with them and we share what we're trying
Mm.
to do, and they're really clear around what we're trying to achieve and how that's going to benefit them. And it's cool because I find that like when if you don't have that and you don't have a really clear idea of how that's going to benefit them as we grow the business, then for most people, when you bring on new business and you're growing, team can sometimes just think like that just means more work for me. Like that might be
Yeah.
the only way that they view it, rather than seeing the growth potential for them, and if there's incentives around it, how that can benefit them in the short term as well. It's crazy how, since we've implemented this sprint structure where we share the goals and we get them aligned on that, how many of them have now just started going like, oh yeah, I know this person over here that like, oh, they could be a massive referral partner. Oh, I know this person over here. And it's like, it's funny until you actually make it clear that like um how that's going to work for them. Growth of the business almost seems scary because it just seems like they're going to be under the pump.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, we do a thing where once a year we reset with the team, and we will do the VTO part of the EOS system. We will do that with them. When we get sort of heavily into the numbers, some of them kind of glaze over, but they love setting those kind of bigger goals and the values of the internal team, all of that sort of stuff. But once I start getting to the sexy math part, some of their eyes are like, okay, they're glazing over. But we give them other activities and fun things to do as well. But I love how you bring the team together so that you're all rowing in the same direction, and the fact that they're now thinking and seeing, oh, there's a potential over here and over there, and bringing that into the company as well. So that's really awesome. Now, you're actually here for a topic today, which is how to grow your business through content without new leads. So that's my first question. What is the system that you would suggest to grow your business and your revenue without actually attracting new leads?
I'll go to you, Joba.
Easy. The way that we look at it is like there's a lot of ways to grow a business. And I think everyone, when they look at content, they look at social media, they just think of advertising. And we think like advertising is realistically it's one small subset of marketing. And the way that we look at content is like, well, how can we use it to position the brand as a more premium service, or build more trust in a way that helps them to increase their prices? Because a lot of people they think about how they're going to grow their business, and they just look at like, how can we just fill more people in the top? And it's like, well, could you also work with the same amount of people but increase your prices by 30 to 50%? Like, what would that actually do to the business? It's probably a much easier, funner business to run. And I think people often think as they're going to increase their price through getting better results for clients, which absolutely plays a part. But new clients are not the people that have had the experience of working with you. So all they see is the front end stuff. So that is, unless they are getting referred to you by someone that is an like ideal client that has got amazing results, is just going to be a raving fan for you, most new people that are going to come across you, particularly online, that's all they're seeing. It's what's on the front end. So like your marketing has more to do with you increasing prices, in my opinion, than increasing the results that you
Mm.
get for clients.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely. Yeah, good one. I like that very much.
so increasing price is one of the levers that we
Yep.
look at, and when we're doing a strategy with a client, that might be one of their goals. Like, we are not we do not look like a premium service at the moment. Like what we do on the back end, it doesn't look like that on the front end. So that might be one of the goals we look at. One of the other things we look at is, um, and most people have no idea what this looks like for them, but what is the average sales cycle? What is the average time it takes for someone to first come into your world to actually make a decision to buy? Now, most people just think feed new lead in, they're going to book a call immediately, and you get this all too well, Sally. I know, because you'll have all the systems that are nurturing people along the way. But that's most people's thought, right? That they like new lead in, probably going to book a call really soon, and we'll see if they're going to be a client or not. When in the reality, it's so everyone's journey is slightly different. Some people are like going to come really quickly. Some people will jump on a call, might ponder on it, but they might make a decision in 6 months because you didn't have enough trust here. But over time, maybe that builds up. Some people are going to take 6 months, or I think you were mentioning someone the other day that had been in the like behind the scenes, never engaged on anything for years, and then they finally come over the line, which
Yeah.
is
6 years, 6 years stalking and just became a client, and it was like, whoa, they've been following me for 6 years and I had no idea until they decided to become a client. Yeah.
yeah, which is a testament to just like a great ongoing, consistent nurturing system that appeals to everyone's things. But on the average, like when we look at that, it's like, what's the average that it takes people to buy? Is that 3 months? Is it 6 months? Because if we could halve that, that's going to double your business. Like that, and no one really talks about like that. And that's if we can double, if we can
Yeah.
decrease that, it's probably going to mean your cost to acquire the person is cheaper because it's taking you less work over a long period of time to have to follow up with that person and everything like that. But it also means cash flow is going to be way better. Like you just bring in, like it's easier for when you do start bringing in new people, it doesn't take as long on average to get them to actually become a client. So you can actually feed more money at the top, knowing that that's better. So that might be one of the other goals we look at. So if we can, decrease the sales cycle there. The other thing that we look at, funnily, we've had a few clients that they're a really niche market and they don't have an issue with getting new clients on board. But when they do bring on the new clients, they typically come in through like a lower end service or that first end thing. So their marketing is actually more driven towards customers and people or even past clients and stuff like that, to try to upsell them or like show them like the more features of whatever product or service they've done. So we've seen people that like use their socials more so to actually appeal to clients, because it's always easier to have some see a video and convince themselves that they need that particular thing than when they're on a call with you or they're talking with you directly, they might feel like they're being sold to or convinced around that particular thing. So that might be one of the other things we look at.
Yeah.
And we also, it's less so to do with revenue. It's a bit of a revenue will come after this, but we've also been working with clients to grow their business through using content to attract talent. Transparently, I mean, if you look at our socials, majority of the content we've done over the last like 12 to 18 months has actually been driven towards trying to attract new employees, because we don't have an issue with getting new clients. It's more so around we want to really attract high grade talent so that we can continue to grow. So that's where like our bottleneck was, and like that was the problem we were using content to solve. And we've hired our last 3 people all through social media, all reached out to us, and it's great because they know what we're about, they know what we offer, and they're already like really keen to work for us because they get it, what we're trying to do and the mission, and they're seeing us having fun, so we look like an employer of choice. So that's all the stuff we look at. But I suppose the main thing is like, what is the bottleneck that we're trying to use content to solve? And most people, just think about new leads, new clients, and that's the only way to do it.
Yeah. And getting new leads is fabulous, but then what? right? What happens after you get that first initial email address, right? How are you nurturing? How are you taking care of them? But I love that you're using content to attract talent. I will have to say, as a business owner, finding talent is one of the hardest things because they sound amazing on paper or they interview very well. But then when put into the role, maybe they just don't have the capacity or the brain power for it, but they can talk all the talk. Um, but having that content to be able to attract quality talent who are already invested in what it is that you do before they even walk in the door, they're not just applying for a job. They're like almost looking at you a little bit like, fanboy, fangirl, like, oh, this is really cool because you're showing up constantly. That's such a great idea. I've never thought of using my content to attract talent because I'm always thinking, same as you, or as you said, thinking leads, sales, right? Attract people in. But then I think nurture, right, which is showing up so that you stay front of mind, tip of tongue. So I'm definitely going to be thinking more about some more behind the scenes fun things with the team in our content to show that not only do we serve our clients, but it's a cool place for the team to work. Thank you for that. I love doing podcasts because you never know what goodness comes out of your guests.
No, it's crazy. It's funny as well how that can also impact the sales side too. Like we've it's not the main reason we do it all. It's just one of those like nice benefits. But like we have clients that come in and they just go, I just want to work with you guys. You look so fun. You know what I mean? Like they want to be a part of it. Which is, a really nice thing to hear when you're like, that's what we're trying to create. We want to create like that fun, that culture, that thing that people want to be a part of. But yeah, it was a nice side benefit as well of that on the front end clients go, yeah, those are my people. Those are the people I want to be around, which has been a cool thing too from the side of, I think, in this age now of like people wanting to lead with founder led content, which I'm massive on, I think is awesome. But the issue after the founder led content is how do I then that everyone wants to work with me, like
Yep.
and I've got a whole team that are honestly better on the delivery side.
Yeah.
They're going to make sure stuff gets done. So showcasing the team and having them around a lot more in the content we found has also been a thing of we haven't had that friction
Mm-hmm.
where Ben and I have stepped away that clients have been like, oh, why am I working with these guys? Like, I want to work with you. Like,
Yeah.
we just haven't had that. Which probably also because they do their first shoots with those guys. They go, oh, this is way better. But,
Well, you were telling me the other day, like we're the same. We like the chefs that don't cook at home, right? Or we always there's a funnel to build for us or something to fix. Like we don't even have a website. We have a funnel. Why? Because we're busy building everybody else's things. Um, but I love that you've got these specific levers that you use to help to diagnose each of your clients. And one particular one is what role does the content itself actually play to help increase prices or upselling current clients? How would you use that content to do it?
I'm gonna throw it back to you, Jobo. This is your area to a T. Don't mind me. I'm loving this. This is great.
I think there's a few things around it. So one of the things that we're really big on, because a lot of the businesses we work with, they are like a high ticket service in a typically in industries where there's a low level of trust because people have been burnt by a lot of other people in their space. Whether it's a financial advisor, a real estate agent, a buyer's agent, accountant, like all of these sort of things. Everyone's got a bad story. So like one of the things that we look at is the quality of the content. And I'm all for people like getting started with using their phones and doing content like that. But I do really think there is a understated thing of um, high ticket services when you go to the page and you see a quality thing. It's an implication that they invest in stuff and they value quality in that. It's just it's innate for us to make like a judgment and make impressions. It's like, you know, if you have a nice website, your landing page looks nice, like that will make a difference versus something that like doesn't look like it works, or it's got broken links, or you know stuff is, you know, the copy doesn't quite make sense. So like that's one of the things we look at is the quality.
Mm-hmm.
The other part is the trust and the social proof. So one of the things that we look at is, we're very big on collaborations with our clients, because a lot of our clients have got other people in their industry or people they refer to and all this sort of stuff, and we want to help them showcase that, because you know you can leverage trust off of, all. I mean, at the end of the day, brand is really just like reputation and associations. Like, what are we, when people think of you, and if you show up over here with someone else, it's like, okay, they're together, they must be in the same world together. I trust that person, therefore this person must be trustworthy as well. So we look at that a lot with our clients as well. How can we help bring in and get you to collaborate with people that uh, will help you leverage trust and showcase you with people that you want to be showcased against? Um, that might be one of the strategies we look at. Another thing that we can look at is just like, how can we bring in more like client stories? How can we like bring in testimonials in a creative way? Like I think most people just get someone to do a testimonial for them, and then the person comes on and say, yeah, it was awesome to work with this person. And it's like, it does okay on a landing page, but it's not content. So like we
Mm-hmm.
really like, if we're going to do it for content, it's like, how do we creatively bring in that thing where it's like entertainment, it's like a story that you want to watch, but at the same time the message is coming through that, oh yeah, this person got that result off that person. So that might be another strategy that we look at. There's three. There's probably a bunch of other ones that we would look at depending on the different industries. Is there any other ones you would add in there, Ben?
No, I don't think so. I think you've hit the nail on the head there, quite well.
I think that that first impression matters, right? Especially if they're brand new to your world and they've never seen you before. If they go to your page and they see something that looks very professional and has that, especially for service based businesses that sell high ticket offers, they want to work with somebody who makes them look like a high ticket offer business. And yeah, having really good quality content. And I love what you said about the testimonials, not just having a testimonial, but bringing that in and creating a story. And I always say, show up, educate, and entertain, right? Because that's what content is. It's supposed to entertain, not just to educate. So yeah, I'm gonna go and have a look at some of the testimonial things that you've made for people now to also see what they all look like, because we just literally get a few voice recordings or we pull in all our Google reviews, but actually using it, but strategically thinking that this is content for a purpose rather than here's a testimonial, go watch a testimonial. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Such a great idea there. Now, you work with a lot of professional services and also construction businesses. What would you say is the most common sort of mistakes that you see them make with their online content?
I think, to be honest, people just don't show the process. Like we see it both in construction and in professional services. People are so connected to the end result. If you think real estate agents, it's the sold sticker. Think
Mm,
buyers agents, it's the wine bottle out the front of the house with a happy couple. Even construction businesses, right? It's the end product. It's the house. So I think people forget to show the process and show the journey. And it's easy to do because you get caught up in the doing. It's like, how can I make time to capture that frame going up, or the roof going on, or whatever it may be, the contract being signed in the process. But as like we know that's all part of the story and the journey that people really connect to. A lot of the time, people don't connect to the end result. It's just the final thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think it's just such an important thing that we do for both professional service and construction is just capturing that journey and really trying to tell the stories throughout that process.
How do you help them like pull that story out? What are some of the strategies you might use there?
Well, a lot of the time it's just, it's those in-depth meetings where we don't just come in and go, okay, what's the project? We'll come in and capture the project. It's, what's the project mean to you, but also the people that you're delivering it to, whether that be the clients on the other end of it, whether it be a family purchasing a home or whether it be a new community getting, a new Woolworths, a new library, whatever the project may mean, and it's really like building the story around that.
Yeah, awesome. Story is important, isn't it? It helps with that connection because then you're not just a business any longer as well. They can feel that kind of connection to each other. All right. Well, I want to get a little bit more sort of one-on-one with you both about, oh, hang on, we're not going to do that one just yet. We're going to go back to this one here. Go back to that one there. I guess just some questions about just your thoughts on things. So if you could give one piece of advice to a business owner about social media, what would it be? It's a pretty broad one, but
I would say start now. Start now and build your brand. No matter how you think it's going to look, whether you think people are going to care about you, just start. You'll learn a lot, and you'll at least be putting something out there so that there is, even if it's just 10 extra people know about you, it's an audience that you didn't have. So just start.
Yeah. What about you, Joe? What's one piece of advice you would give a business owner about
Um,
social?
my my thing that I always say is like don't just look at it as advertising. Don't just look at it as a way to bring in new clients, because I really think that it is such a multi-pronged thing that helps you a lot more than just direct advertising. So yeah, I just be open to all of those other things, and you probably will get started a lot sooner.
Yeah. What's one of the most surprising things that you've learned about audience engagement, right? Because you're putting content out there on social. So what's some of the surprising things you've learned about the engagement that content creates?
I'll jump in to start. I would say just the back and forth conversation that can be had, and I think there's a lot of people that like they start getting some comments and they're not replying back. They're
Ah,
not
yes,
trying
the
to
good old
engage
post and
in the
ghost.
conversation. Yep.
Post
Yeah,
and ghost.
exactly. And I think there's like, you should be jumping in there. Like there's so much. Like, I've had people that have been very surprised at how much money like we've made over the years, like just through Instagram DMs. Like I've had, you know, a lot of people that have come on board or like signed up for a project purely through DMs. Like we haven't jumped on a call, we haven't done anything. It's just the trust is there, and like engagement through the comments is how you get people to a one-on-one conversation. And if you need to get them onto a call, like you're just a few steps away. And I think people really underrate that aspect of it.
Yeah, no, that's really good. Yeah, we have a rule here inside of OmniSam: no post goes uncommented on, and no comment goes unreplied. So somebody has to be in there, and then we also end with an open-ended question every time we comment. We'll lead with an open-ended question to keep that conversation going and to also help qualify people along the line as well. So that's a great tip there. Now, tell me a little bit outside of work. What's a passion? What do you do outside of work that helps to continue to inspire your creativity?
For me personally, I like to wrestle sharks just on the odd occasion. No, not actually.
I
I only
actually
joke
saw a
around.
guy snorkeling one day wrestling a shark, and that was I felt sorry for the bloody shark.
Uh, I say that as a joke because I'm an avid scuba diver, and I
Oh,
have a
cool.
very funny story. If you look at the top of my Instagram, if you get a chance, late last year I had a run in with a 7.5 foot 7 gill shark. At the time, I was that and another 5.5 foot shark. I didn't know at the time that it was a not too dangerous shark. I just saw a big grey thing. So yeah, I love my scuba diving. So we have some of the best scuba diving here in Australia, down in Geelong. And most people don't get to see it. So absolutely love it. It's my disconnect from all the stress.
Ah,
Some people think I'm crazy because it's like you put your life in your hands for 50 minutes underwater. But that's my way to de-stress.
that's actually been one of my kind of bucket list. I've done scuba diving like with somebody. I've never got the license to go by myself scuba diving, but I loved it. Like I float really easy, so I can snorkel for hours, and like I literally can fall asleep floating. But I love scuba. I mean, it's one of the things I've always wanted to be able to just do. So yeah, that's really cool. What about you, Joe? What do you do? A passion that inspires your creativity?
Oh, it's not yeah, it's not wrestling sharks. I'm probably more like I'm anything like game related, board games, or I play chess a lot. Like any sort of downtime I've got, like I just love playing games. So
Yeah,
the team will attest to my uh, competitiveness anytime we've done like a games night or
yeah.
done anything like that. But yeah, my at the moment my thing is chess. It used to be online Catan, and yeah, I've had to delete a lot of games and stuff off my phone because that I can just get lost in that for hours.
Yeah. I've never been big into gaming, but I did paint a chess set recently. My husband made in the 3D printer. I'll send you a photo. It's like a rainbow, of course, rainbow chess set that I spent, just nice in front of the TV doing a bit of painting and painting this chess set. I'll have to give you, you'll beat me, but I love chess too. Not that I'm good at it. I can't think more than maybe two moves ahead, but it's still fun. And we used to do lots of game nights when my daughter was younger. So I enjoy the game side, but I've never been much into the the
Oh
other
yeah,
online
I'm not
gaming
as much
space.
that sort of stuff. It's more like yeah,
Board
board
games.
game. If it's
Yeah.
just an online version of a board game, that sort
There
of
was a
stuff's my jam.
Yeah, there was a really cool Netflix series where it was all about just different mind games and that people had to play. So it wasn't about being fit and healthy and like a lot of those. It was just about using your brain. We've got a visitor here. You'll have to come and stick a headphone in because you won't hear. You'll have to put this in your hole.
Hey mate,
Hi, friends.
how are you?
Testing, testing. Live broadcast. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we've got you. How are you?
Fantastic. Good. How are you guys?
Good, good. We're just in the fast talk questions. I think
Yeah, we're about to get to fast
The
talk. You want to?
best bit. Well, I
Yep, she's lost her thing. We'll do
I
fast
don't
talk
know
with
how to
Ash.
I don't know how to use these ear things. As you know, I'm a noob. For everybody listening and just seeing for the first time, hi, my name is Ash, customer success manager at OmniSam. I'm tardy. I'm late. I've been doing team management tasks this morning. So again, I do apologize. And Ben caught me in the middle of it when he popped into the Voz this morning. And I was like, head over there, Ben. Great to see you. And then telling the team what's going on. So thanks for having me. Let's move on.
Yeah,
Fast
well,
talk.
fast talk. All right, so questions are up there. We're heading into fast talk. It's 2 minutes to see how many questions we can get through. The pressure's on. No, it's not really.
And who's talking, you or me?
Oh, well, you can do it. Why not?
And okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Ready?
Ready? 3, 2, 1. Video or photo?
video,
Video,
Instagram or LinkedIn?
Instagram,
Instagram,
Short form or long form content?
short form,
short form,
Behind the scenes or polished productions?
BTS,
Polish Productions,
Morning content creation or evening editing?
morning
evening
content
editing,
creation,
Ooh, we got a different one there. All right, coffee or tea?
coffee,
neither,
Neither.
Yeah, I remember.
Ben. Oh.
All right, we're going to keep going. Solo brainstorming or team collab?
team
team
collab,
collab,
Analytics or instinct?
Ooh,
analytics,
analytics,
Written or visual storytelling?
visual,
Client calls or production work?
client calls,
production,
Paid ads or organic reach?
organic,
organic,
reach,
Creative freedom or client guidance?
Creative
Creative
freedom.
freedom.
Automation or manual posting?
Automation.
Automation.
And then feedback or self-reflection?
Feedback.
Self-reflection.
Trending topics or evergreen content?
Evergreen.
Evergreen.
All right. Work from studio or on site?
Studio.
Work from studio.
Music or sound design?
Music.
Collab or solo projects?
Collab.
Collab.
Planning or spontaneity?
Planning.
Spontaneity.
Ooh. Sally
You
and
can
I
tell. You can tell. Jobe is you. Ben is me.
Yeah. I sat Sally down last night and I was like, no. All right. Sorry. On with the thing. Editing or filming?
Filming.
Filming.
Favorite project you've worked on?
That's the toughest one to end it.
GBA.
Ding, ding, ding.
GBA.
Oh, our sound
Yeah,
effects
GBA.
didn't go off.
Oh,
I'll make it go off. Hang on.
I didn't know there were sound effects. I was the sound effect. Anyway, and welcome to answer the question though. Like, keep going. Tell us favorite project you've worked on.
Yeah, I think to be honest, the favorite project we've had so far was capturing the 2025 Geelong Business Excellence Awards. I think it was just it's a thing that I've seen for years. And to be a sponsor, part of the night, being able to deliver awards, but then two, having a team there and being able to be like, our team's in the crowd capturing this night. You're all gonna, you've seen us capturing the photos on the night, and then you'll see the recap that came out afterwards. I think that's probably been one of the most impactful projects we've been a part of so far.
Awesome. What about you, Jobe?
Oh, I probably would have said that too, but I'll go something different. I think the funnest project I've worked on was Hive Keepers. It was like this all part of a Kickstarter campaign for this like product for beekeepers. It was very different to everything else I've done. And then even just the process of like marketing something for Kickstarter was very different. So it was fun.
Amazing. And save the bees, everyone. If you're listening, please plant local wildlife saving flowers in your location. And I'm not condoning this, but please feel free to go and seed bomb nature strips for the bees, because it's good for the environment. And if we have no bees, we have a lot of not things. So just on that, please make sure you're looking after your bees.
All right. So Ma always gets me to ask this question at the end. So you both have to say the question and then follow up with an answer. It is, my name is Jobe and I sparkle because, and my name is Ben and I sparkle because, and fill in the blank.
Yeah, it's a hard one. Why do you sparkle, guys? What makes you sparkle?
I love seeing
Ben
the
can say it,
cogs turning when we ask this question.
Go on, Ben.
Yeah, go for it. My name is Ben, and I sparkle more because I'm more than just a person with a camera. I'm a person with a team that is better than me, and systems that are also better than me.
Oh, I love that system. And you go team.
Both. No, I love systems and team. And I just want to tack on to the end of that. All of us are better than one of us. I just want to add that in, because one of us, we might be great, but all of us is better because we all know different things. So
Yeah, well, we've got that quote sticker that I see
this
you.
is a different sticker.
Yeah, it
But
says
anyway.
we work better together than we do alone.
No,
Ash
it's
has
not.
got
It's let's get one income producing activity done every day. But anyway, all right, yeah, we work better together than we do alone, and all of us are better than none of us, or one of us. So I think that really reflects what you said there, Ben. Jobe, my name is Jobe, and I sparkle because.
My name is Jobe and I sparkle because no one can beat me at any games.
Oh, and I've just asked him to play chess with me, so I know I'm done.
All right, I don't play
I
chess.
just
But
drew a challenge out.
what kind of games are we talking? Are we talking video games, or are we talking like what you want to play?
like chess.
I was going to say
Chess,
1v1
board
at River.
games, card games.
1v1 at River if you play League. If anyone here listens to League, what plays League?
You
let's
wouldn't
go.
beat me in the top lane, mate.
Yeah.
Allowy main over here. Allowy
sorry.
main.
Busy in the jungle. See you later.
Yeah, fair enough. Probably never get a gank from you anyway.
I die. I just die. I feed hard, but it's fun. Anyway, if you want to play a game, Jobe, I'm down. Pick something. We'll have a go.
Yeah, we should have a games night.
Skippo.
We'll do a game. Sounds good.
Skippo. Awesome, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Now, if people want to learn more about you, where can they go?
Recreate
Best
across
way.
all the socials. Oh, there you go. Yeah, recreate across all the socials. It's Ben Cook for myself, and then Jobe Neal again across all socials.
Yep, you've hijacked all the names, which is great. That's what we recommend as well. Fabulous, guys. Thanks so much for joining us. It's always good to have catch up with you. Now, are we letting people know what's coming up? Have we started that yet? We've been in some planning phases, but we do have something coming up soon. The dates are fully solid now, right? We've locked in dates. Yes. All right. So I guess we should tell people what we're planning then.
Well, no. See, all I said was there's a place where people go and there's a thing that's happening in that place. That's all I said. And I was like, around Geelong, there's a place and you might want to come. I don't know. And that's all I was allowing Sally to say. So,
well, it's a good time to announce it while we're all together.
All right. You guys, do you want to take it away? I don't want to steal all the glamour.
Go. Jobe's been awesome on the mic today. So we'll let Jobe take it away.
We've got our Nurture to Convert event at the end of April. I believe it's the 30th of April. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ash. But it will be at Eden Oak in Geelong. So I'm sure we'll have some details down below, or if anyone wants details, we'll share that with them. But it's really along the same lines of everything we've talked about today around like using social media and what systems you need behind to actually nurture people so that we can try to reduce that sales cycle and convert more of those people that maybe might have slipped out of the funnel if we didn't hit them in all areas and in the right way. So doing that in a way as well with the help of you guys in a way that's actually going to buy back a lot of time. So it's going to be a very interesting one for people to go along to.
Yes, we're really looking forward to it. It will be practical as well. So it's not just feed you full of stuff and send you on your way. It'll be a bit practical as well, but super excited. Launching our event cycle that we're trying to start here locally in Geelong and, well, around Victoria as well. So, and we're kicking it all off with Ben and Jobe. As our year of live events. So
super exciting. You heard it here first. Nurture to Convert, 30th of April at Eden Oak, Geelong. And I'm sure somewhere around here you will see a link to click in order to get your tickets. Can't wait to see you there. Wear your brightest sparkle, or in my case, black with a little bit of sparkle.
100%. Awesome, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast. We will finish up, but we'll be catching up with you really soon, and some great tips and advice for our audience today. And bye. We'll head out and we say never let anyone dull your sparkle. Make sure you get one income producing activity done every day, and every day be marketing. All right, thanks everyone. We'll see you on the next one in just under an hour. We'll be streaming again.
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light. Just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long.